Aha, we are on. Okay, we have properties next. Now, we are not hitting associative and commutative properties super hard this year for whatever reason with our standards, but I do want you to know this because it'll help things click as you go through. And so my goal for you is to identify the properties as you go through your work. Okay? So if you have a highlighter at home, or if you're with me at school, and we're going to highlight these are a big deal. So we have the commutative property of addition with examples, with variables like algebraic expressions and numerical. Commutative property of multiplication, associative property of addition, we're going to talk about that, and multiplication. The identity property of addition and multiplication. We'll briefly hit this. It'll make sense. Distributive property, this is the big one that we will be applying and using. So this is what I really need you to know. Okay. Anyways, so, excuse me. Pause this for 1 second. Okay, so this down here is, we're going to go through this, and it's just kind of fill in blank, little definitions to kind of help you put all the things together. So, the commutative property. The commutative properties of addition and multiplication state that if all operations are addition, or all operations are multiplication, the order does not matter. So let's talk about that. I'll give you a second to finish that, and then we're going to talk about it. About 10 more seconds to write that down, and then we're going to talk about it. Somebody's stealing my water. All right. So the commutative property of addition. I haven't really used, the commutative property of the statement yet. You have seen it, and you're seeing it right now. I'm going to explain a little bit more to you. All right. So up here in our numerical and algebraic examples, let's look at just numerical. 5 plus 1 equals 1 plus 5, meaning the operation is addition. It's only addition. There's no other operation. So the order doesn't matter because 5 plus 1 is still going to give you 6, just like 1 plus 5 is going to give you 6. Okay? So the commutative property of multiplication, same idea. So 7 times 2 is 14, and so is 2 times 7. Okay? Again, as long as it's just multiplication, the order doesn't matter because you will come out with the same product, and over here with addition, you will come out with the same sum. Okay? So the associative property, I got a little thing to help you remember this one. So the associative properties of addition and multiplication state that if all operations are addition, again, or all operations are multiplication, the way the values are grouped does not matter. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Go back up here and look. Okay, so here's what I like people to understand. Grouping is my parentheses. We've talked about that. Grouping is parentheses. Okay, so as you see, it has A plus B plus C with parentheses around B and C, and then A plus B plus C again, parentheses around B, A and B. Okay, so same thing with multiplication. So what I like to tell kids, when you have to identify a property as associative, okay, first of all, you see grouping symbols, okay? It should all be addition or all be multiplication. But the biggest thing I teach people is ASSO. Okay? ASSO. Put an arrow up here. All stay same order. All stay same order. Okay? ASSO. Okay? So for example, if I was going over here and I had parentheses, even if I had parentheses right here, my 5 and 1 changed from one expression to the other. So that wouldn't be associative. You want to look at your variables and your integers and, are they all in the same order? So that's just a little, and we're going to do some practice. So I'm going to show you, okay? So the identity property of addition states that the sum of a number and 0 is the number. Okay, so basically the identity property of addition, anything plus 0 is itself. Okay, so for the identity property of multiplication states that the product of a number and 1 is the number. Meaning anything times 1 is itself. I'm going to pause here for a hot moment. All right, where were we? So anything times 1 is itself. Now the distributive property is the big one that we're going to be applying to our algebraic expressions and numerical expressions. And here's my pencil. Okay, so the distributive property states that to multiply a sum or difference, okay, to multiply a sum or difference by a number, multiply each term inside the parentheses by the number outside the parentheses. Okay? So, meaning, this is what the distributive property looks like. So we have this side right here. A times, remember, an integer or variable next to parentheses with no operation symbol means to multiply. So A times, parentheses, B plus C. So to distribute, new parentheses, A times B, like this, plus A times C, right here. Okay, and the same thing with subtraction. Distribute A times B like this, minus, and then A times C. All right? Close that one more time. Everybody's calling me on the phone. Okay. So down here, we're going to rewrite each expression using, well, we're not going to. It's okay. I'm going to talk about our homework here in a minute because we don't need to rewrite them. This is going to be completely different, okay? So I'm going to stop here. We're not doing this because you need the notes.